Feature Friday.
The freshest. So this is a brand new name for us. Her name is Jona, and it says, "Will amaze you with Queen of the Night rendition."
Nice. I like the word
Don't
rendition.
know the song, don't know the singer.
We'll probably recognize the song, maybe.
Maybe later.
Doesn't ring a bell. You know what's
Not
difficult?
right now. Queen of the Night. Let me see. Who sang it originally?
You know what's difficult? When you listen
Yes.
to the amount of music we listen to, like
Yes.
not only on camera but then off camera.
Yes.
Like I barely, and that's one of the things that now I'm basically I forget the names of everyone and everything. I'm in this awkward situation in my head where I no longer remember who I am because the amount of sounds and artists that are inside this brain, I know they're in there, but it's too many. Do you recognize it at all?
It says it's wait, the Magic Flute, Queen of the Night aria. It's a Mozart piece by the Royal Opera.
Oh wow! Whoa!
It's an opera. Well, that's the reason why maybe I don't know it.
Right, we're not very familiar with that stuff. And I mean, it seems even with genres we're familiar with, I obviously don't know anything.
It's
so.
an aria sung by the Queen of the Night, coloratura part, a soprano. Is the second act of the Mozart opera Magic Flute.
Oh wow, interesting. Go on, let's give it a go. This is one of the brilliant bits of the show, and thanks for the request.
I don't know anything about this.
We're learning as we go.
Opera is a bit far-fetched in terms of my vocal knowledge. I briefly studied it. Well, you have to, but very briefly. So I'm about to be, swimming in the depth of water.
And if I had money, I'd throw it as well.
Of course.
Yeah, and my shoes, everything. My house keys, send the car keys. My mortgage, the kid, just send the kid.
Have it all.
Have it all, just have it you want, like, you know what I mean?
She looks like a pop star, sounds like an angel.
Yeah, I didn't know, it's so bizarre, like, people can do this with their mouths. You know what I mean? It's so bizarre that people can do this with their mouths.
No, not really their
and
mouths,
throat.
but yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right?
Sure.
It's cavity, right? That's basically what singing is. That's what singing is, right? It's just making now sort
just
of sound
air coming out of the freaking
of a cavity.
throat. Yeah.
One of your cavities, actually,
Yes,
only
yes.
one, the voice, mouth.
Yes.
If you were making sounds of other cavities, it would be considered singing. You know? Well, if you're realistic,
Yeah, no, I
it's
agree.
actually true.
It's a fact.
That's the only place where you have vocal cords.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. There's other places where you can also kind of,
Oh, stop. Come on. Oh, broke havoc in the studio. Listen.
But realistically, right, that's the only one that people will clap for, right?
I don't want to hear any more of cavities and sounds.
How did someone figure that out, though? Like
Well-
I can do this with my voice. Who
Well-
was the first opera singer ever?
Oh, good question. I don't actually know, but it's well, let's have a look.
It's of Italian roots, right? Opera singing?
But
Yeah.
first, opera
Well, where did it originate? Right, I'd imagine it's Italy.
singer.
Like, how the hell did you figure out you're basically like reincarnation of a bird?
Jacopo Peri. In Florence, a small group of artists, statesmen, writers, and musicians known as the Florentine Camerata decided to create a storytelling of a Greek drama through music, which was composed by Daphne in 1597.
1597.
Yes, and it was considered to be the first opera.
So actually singing is relatively new.
Yeah,
Like, it's
15
500 years old.
yeah. It dates between
Opera
1500s
singing.
and 1600s.
But
There is not a solid statement.
so
to,
opera singing is fairly new then. That's 500 years old.
wow, yes.
know.
Wow, okay.
No,
yes.
because like you gotta understand, it's like singing is something we've done since the beginning of the species.
Yes, true.
You know, chants and tribal
Melodies and creating music
noises
itself.
and sounds,
And,
things
and
like that.
music itself
Yeah.
was
So it's always been a form of expression, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then that I'm interested in this one because opera has a very peculiar impact in the human being. Like when
Yeah.
you listen to that does not feel like it's coming from a human. That feels like it's something else. Like how the hell do you do that, and why does it have that effect on my body?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what does it have that effect in my brain? Like I have to really look at her because where is the bird? Like what where's the sound thing coming from? You know,
yeah.
so bizarre.
Technically speaking, the note accuracy that's happening here on the setting that the larynx is naturally falling into with the opera sound, it's very difficult because it's set higher. It's like the larynx for a soprano, it's set very high, but instead of like what a normal high larynx would sound, is naturally quite twangy. So it falls up here in the cheeks, and the sound comes through the nose quite naturally. But in opera, the larynx is also tilted forward, and the round end of the vowels falls really high up here in the jaws. So you're creating a lot of resonance in the back of the soft palate, and a very wide jaw setting, which creates very warm, rounded sounds and takes away from the twanginess that a high larynx setting would bring.
It's more common like in pop and stuff like that.
Yes.
Right.
You can get sopranos that do pop naturally. It's easy. But what's very difficult about opera singing is the combination of settings that muscularly are very demanding.
Right.
So that's why opera
Tiring, yeah.
singer, extremely tiring. And in the beginning of theater, when opera was for the elite of society, it was believed to think that the bigger the singer physically, the more warmness to the sound it would give, because there was so much anchoring in the neck, and in the back it created a natural rounded sound. But obviously, as the years have progressed, it's been debunked. Like that's a belief that actually doesn't state anymore. But it's opera is very difficult. I don't know. I barely understand the surface, but yeah,
Well, let's keep listening to it. That's sick.
just insane.
Walk it off. What show is this?
That is crazy.
Some pop. How, man?
That was one breath.
Yeah, she doesn't take.
Because she's the melody herself.
Yes, but
Well, she's playing like all the instruments, right? Basically, of the piece.
Well, basically, yeah, she's the main course of the meal.
Jesus Christ.
Normally, that's what a soprano
Yeah, would do.
role is.
Yes, absolutely. Is the main
And it's a backing
driver
track
of
as
the
well.
song.
Like, that's nuts.
Yes.
It's no live band.
Listen to this. Look. Breath.
Breathe, woman, breathe.
It's so difficult, that line, just from the breath control, because when you're singing on an ah sound, it's very rounded, very open, air escapes quicker. If it was an e sound, you can totally administrate air differently. But all ah sounds are so open, so rounded, they demand so much air, right? And obviously you're in a really hard, difficult, muscular setting already, and you gotta do a really long ah sound.
Damn.
It's crazy. That's very impressive.
With shiny trousers. Yes, it's alright. The mouth really changes in different.
Look at that setting of the tongue. Very high in the back, very low in the front. So you're creating really high soft palate in the back of the mouth, but open resonance right on the front of the lips. So it creates this like megaphone effect.
Nice.
Yeah, cool, huh? Bravo!
So
What
she-
the hell was that?
She's from the Philippines, yeah?
Wow! Yes.
Oh, wow, damn.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Just the Philippines just happen to be roaming around in the world with the most fantastic performers
You know what I
ever.
noticed? Every time she sang, yeah, and when she was saying specific words, you can really, you know how in certain singers you can't really tell like the vowel shape. With her, you can actually tell each letter. Like
Yes.
an O would be like a perfect O, and an A would be like a perfect A.
Yeah, and that comes from the classical training.
Nice.
When melodies are so big, diction becomes has to be amplified in order to actually get across the understanding.
Right.
So even if you're singing in a different language, like is happening here, she's singing in German, the emphasis of the diction is a huge part of the play, because an opera is an acting piece through music. So if you're missing out on the storytelling through the song, then you're missing out on the whole play.
Sure.
So it's always been very emphasized since the beginning of singing through, acting through song, to emphasize on diction and vowel shapes.
Well, okay. So that's probably why like opera and theatre.
Well, they're one.
They're one, right?
They're
but like
one.
Performing artists have a minimal understanding at least.
Yes, of course.
Or they're made to study a bit of opera singing.
Musicals were born from. It's a natural evolution of opera.
Right.
It's a simplified evolution of opera.
I see. All right. Well, obviously, interesting to hear from you, like, as we watch dummies like me watch and stuff.
Well,
But
I'm still a dummy. I really don't understand the quarter of what happened here, but yeah, I'm totally scratching the surface.
Well, let us know if you like us. Maybe this is something maybe that could be interesting or to talk about. Or if maybe any of you have any other suggestions and stuff like that, do let us know. We'll check it out.